here, beat writer with the Warriors, amongst other things. Oakland Tech alum, actually, and wrote the book of KD's book, actually, that's out on Amazon. Monty Poole there, another writer, journalist, reporter. So I want to open up the forum, and I'll let Coach Hart start out with his thoughts.
Check. Oh yeah, give me a microphone, I'm good. So yeah, for me, just watching the film, it brought back a lot from, we're around the same age. I'm about to be 42 next week. Just the whole time and the AAU basketball during that time. I was actually at Nationals when the highlights of him playing, and then you guys won the national championship of that year. And it was big time. The way you guys look at some of these high school athletes, and you know, you're constantly seeing them on Instagram and on Twitter and everything. Like it was so huge, seeing the basketball community and how big this person was at that age, and everyone. Nationals during that time is kind of different from what nationals are now. Everybody, it was only the teams from California. It wasn't tons of teams from California. It was really the best of the best. So him playing and winning the national title at 13 years old, he was really the best of the best in the country at the time. And basketball was super competitive, as you guys can see through the video and everything, and a lot of the big time NBA legends that were young during that time that he was playing against. So just, it took me back to a time where, you know, everything was super competitive. I mean, just from him just playing in high school and just seeing that story and kind of coming full circle to being able to influence you guys in a positive way, I think is just awesome.
Well, Sellers, I want to get your thoughts on the film, and how do you think you can build off that, how that inspires you moving forward?
Press this button to make it bigger.
It's always good to like see somebody else's perspective on how like their journey went, so you can do better for yourself. And this film like taught me a lot about how people just use you and just to make the right decisions in life.
So as I watched this, first off, we should know that I was better than Shea. Correct, him out for me. I was watching this, and it really made me think about like purpose. I was sitting there really thinking like, what if the whole point was for you to be that good to not make it, just so the whole purpose was to help people, right? And it's like, and thinking about you in that moment where you was like, I don't want to live, and then realizing, wait a second, this is better, right? That there is a better outcome. And that makes you appreciate like valleys and struggle and hard times, because it's part of a purpose, right? I know you grown and wise now, right? You can see it, but you probably couldn't see it at 15 years old, like, but it's a very powerful message about purpose and what you're supposed to be doing, and how that is not defined at 14, not defined at 15, and there's nothing you can go through that will really, you know, change your purpose. Like you and all of us here have a reason for being here, and it's supposed to be good, right? You know what I'm saying? So that's crazy for me to think about, that you went through that for the very purpose of talking to a kid right now, right? And you just had to be strong enough to take it, you know what I'm saying, and get through it for the purpose of telling Cairo, you know what I'm saying, like this is what it is. And there's so much value in that, like that's like Scoop said, it's even more valuable than if you were just a baller, right?
First of all, let's give Shea a hand for bringing this to us. And what Marcus is saying is right. And I have a cousin who is 25 years old, and he still wants to play in the NBA, and none of us can tell him that he can't, even though I know he cannot at this stage. He loves the game, and I've steered him to coaches who say, yeah, he's got some talent, but they all say the same thing. He's got some talent, but. And he's got 3 kids now. He has a job now, but the NBA is still in his heart. And I said, AJ, you should come with me tomorrow to this. He said, I wish I could, but my mother-in-law is having a birthday party, so I gotta go. I understand. But I'm watching this, and I'm thinking he should see this, because he didn't play that much in high school, not because he couldn't play, but because he chose not to. His love of the game didn't come until he was like 17. And then he went all in. Shoes, sweats, playing everywhere he could. When I sent him to a junior college, the coach looked at him and said, yeah, you know, you could tell he hasn't played. You can tell he has not played a lot of organized basketball. He's got some raw skills, but they're raw. And so, for you guys, for anybody that's in that age group, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, find your love. If it's basketball, try to play basketball. If you can't play, try to find a way to be close to the game, or you either be in a position like Shea to give something back to the game. Because the game, you know, the game screwed him. He got screwed.
Facts.
But his bitterness is not overtaking his sense of pride and purpose in his life. And so, again, man, appreciate you coming. I wish my cousin was here to watch this because, you know, he still wants to play, and his mother says, you know, I don't have the heart to tell him he can't, it's not gonna happen. He tries every year. Who has G League turnouts, tryouts? G League. I said, the Warriors are not doing that. They're not doing it. Yeah, and he said, what the Kings? I said, give him a shot, man, go and try it. Wish you luck, but it's hard. And so this is so worthwhile. It's so worthwhile, and again, thanks for bringing it.
I want to open it up to any questions in the audience, anybody may have for anybody on the panel. We've got about 10 minutes and we'll wrap it up.
Just curious to know, going from high school, was it an issue about playing for the draft instead of making a choice for the college?
That's a great question. It was never an issue of me going. Actually, it was the timing of it. I suffered an injury to my shoulder, my shooting arm, my junior year. I wanted to come back and prove myself. I had to sit out my whole senior year. It happened in the junior summer against Oakland in the Long Beach NIT. And Long Beach State at the time was one of the biggest tournaments in the country. We had about 400 teams from all over the country. And you know, I just wanted to show people that I was going to bounce back and I was going to be the best, you know, in my space. And it didn't obviously go the way I thought it would. And I felt like the trajectory of my life changed when I was injured because other people prevailed in LA, like Baron Davis, Paul Pierce, guys like that. And they kind of like almost forgot about me in a way. So I had to work 3 times as hard to get recognized again. And when you're so hot and you go cold, it's really hard to warm back up again. You have to have the right pieces around you. So I want you guys to understand that nothing is guaranteed in life. You know, you don't even control the breath of your body. So you have to get everything you got. You have to have a fervor like never before to embark on something to become a D1 student athlete. It's not easy. You got to give everything you have. To even be invited to the table, that's not guaranteeing that you will get that scholarship. But understand that you got to diversify, take your education serious, listen to your parents or somebody that's a role model, mentor in your life, and look at your supporting cast, the people that you surround yourself with. That's when you know what kind of future you're going to have. If you're around other people aspiring to be D1 student athletes, then you're probably on to something. And if you're around flunkies, you might want to find them in a circle.
True, again, that's back to it.
How are you? Thank you so much for the work you have done and what you continue to do. And this is a shame that these seats aren't good filled. I graduated here in '91. This is, you know, you tell them Coachella or whatever, rap concert, you know, they'll be there, you know, for service. You just be filled up. You was amazing. You stayed grounded and level-headed, and your family was a blessing. You were a blessing, and just, I was touched by it. I got an 11-year-old nephew, and he got dreams of going to UCLA and this and that. I'm gonna just call him D.A. Jones for now, but and I'm just there and be taking them to practice and doing stuff with them and go to some of his AAU games. He went to Vegas and just a lot of different stuff. And I'm trying to you know, instilled in him, and I wanted him to be here too with me, my nephew.
Well, I'll be back.
Okay, great.
Okay, and it'll be full next time. This is the first time. This is the first time it's been this light, but you know what? I look at who's here.
That's right.
It's really important who's here. I feel good about. These kids are going to be impacted. They're going to make better decisions. I think they're going to be hungrier in their pursuit. That's really what it's about. You know, you have to want it. You have to understand that basketball didn't just start with you guys. You need to study. You guys need to understand the history of the game. Players that played before you out of this city, Gary Payton, you know, Jason Kidd, Brian Shaw, Antonio Davis. I can go on and on, fellas. You have to really be a student. Don't just play the game, you know. And at the end of the day, what do you really want out of life? Are you taking from the atmosphere, or do you plan on giving at some point? You have to ask yourself that.
Shea, if you could go back to your 16-year-old self when you were kind of at the height, what's one thing you would have done different, or something you would have not let into your bubble that you think made it change your basketball path? Or
I wouldn't have done anything different. I get that question all the time. That's a great question. But
your mom mentioned Sports Illustrated, that type of stuff. Would you change anything?
no, I mean, I probably wouldn't have this platform if I did. So, you know, I was one of the youngest guys to ever make Sports Illustrated at that time. You know, still today, I don't think there is a guy that's been the state player of the year as a sophomore in high school in the state of California. And John Wooden award winner. You know, I've done things at such a young age that it's really tough for somebody to duplicate that. So I have to just rest in that, knowing that God put me here for a purpose. And part of that was to entertain people. The other side is to make the impact. So I wouldn't change a thing.
Okay, so second part then, someone who's in the same situation as you as a 16-year-old, what would you tell them to do different than you did?
I'd tell them, number one,
Once they make it to the NBA and have that path.
I tell them to keep the circle small, you know, to definitely have the right support cast around you, you know, to play for the right reasons. At the end of the day, take your education serious, you know, and give everything you got. When you're playing, sometimes you get into this rhythm and you think that, you know, games are just going to keep flowing and practice will be tomorrow and I got another one next week. If I don't play that good tonight, I can make up for it tomorrow. You have to take advantage of every opportunity, because if you have a career in an injury, or you have an injury that sidelines you for the rest of the season, and you were dogging it before the injury during the game, you have to live with that resentment. So you want to give everything you have. You know, and today for these guys, I'd say leave social media alone, man. Honestly, the screen time, it takes away from your development. You know, social media has been great in a lot of ways because it discovers people, but it distracts you guys because it takes time away from building yourself up mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, as well as academically. So you got to make a decision at some point. Is it helping me or hurting me?
Can you share how you were as a student and how you balance being a student athlete?
Great question. I had a time management chart, as you saw in the film. My parents were sticklers about education, no grades, no play. So I didn't have to be motivated there. Basketball saved my life. I have cousins that, as you saw in the film, gangsters in the streets, you know, dope dealing, whatever the case may be. Did a lot of time in the penitentiary system, and I wouldn't visit them too. You know, we're talking 20-something odd years. So they lost points of their life that they can't get back. Still trying to recoup that today. People that are grown up with family members. So for me, it's about disciplines and sacrifices and understanding that you're sacrificing now for later. You know, I'd rather grind and suffer right now to win in the end. You got people that win early and suffer late. I think it's better to do the latter.
Shea, you kind of enlighten some of the basketball players and athletes there on, you played with Pat Barry, am I correct?
Correct.
Highest level, right? A lot of kids can't get to that level, but the workload that you had to do to get there, enlighten them, because sometimes kids think, if I go to practice and then I come and finish my workout, that's enough, and I'll get good.
Not so.
Not so.
Yeah. You gotta that's what I talk about, the fervor. You have to put your body, your mind, your spirit through things that you can't even imagine to have an opportunity. I'd practice with my team, come home, knock my homework out, maybe take a nap, wake up, go right back to the gym, an hour and a half, another 2 hours in that night. So if you think about a work week, 6 days a week, I'm putting in 20-something odd hours of basketball, okay? Development on my body, whether it's weight training, jumping rope, swimming, shooting, working on my ball handle, playing one-on-one. I had an older brother that was physical. He didn't give me nothing. I had to earn everything. So, and then I played 2 or 3 years up against all his peers. So you have to constantly set the bar and work to attain it. Don't rest on your laurels. Don't focus on what you do well. Concentrate on your weaknesses and improve on your strengths. But what I used to do when I played is I had my father would film every game, and I'd watch every single game that same night, so it's fresh in your mind. Because as a player, we all know the mistakes we've made throughout the game after the game's over. You have to replay that game in your head, watch that film, take notes on the mistakes that you make. So when you're in that position again, you're not making the same mistakes. And you got to keep building off that moving forward.
Shea, this is less of a question and just more of a statement. You know, I brought my 7-year-old son here. You know, he's a soccer player, and the only basketball players he knows is Steph Curry. And I've heard your name so much. I'm from New York City, and now he knows your name. And I just want you to know that, like, this is inspirational. You know, I watched your documentary just now, and like I just felt the blood flowing in me. And you know, my young guy asking me questions, and I'm talking about the NCAA and colleges, and you know, y'all mentioned Mark Godfrey. I graduated from NC State. I know all about the dude. So this is just, I love this right here. You know, you got a young hooper right there next to you as well. Absolutely. But just continue to do this, man. You played 10 years professional. So you young guys that's sitting up in the front, you know, Shea played 10 years pro. And playing over there in Europe, it's no joke. It's not 14 Americans, 15 Americans like here in the States. You got 2 Americans per team. Some teams 3 tops. So to be able to do that, you know, that's big time. So big ups to you.
I appreciate you. Thank you for coming.
Just want to say something to the lady who you said was your nephew. Tell him to keep his dreams, you know, but also let him understand that it can be taken away. You know, that's the hard part. Let him know that your dream is, you gotta have a dream, you have to. But also understand that, you know, it may be taken away, so be prepared for that in case it happens that way.
Thank you, Mr. Poole, and thank you to all the gentlemen for all, you know, work.
Absolutely.
Great, thank you.
Anybody else questions?
How was it adapting to a different culture when playing overseas?
Great question. I was adapting to a different culture overseas. That's probably the toughest adjustment initially. And it usually takes about 4 to 6 weeks, you know, to settle in and get used to an unfamiliar environment, wake up in a different place, you know. The hardest thing was probably the loneliness, you know, knowing that I was good enough to play in the NBA and I'm in a different country, speak a different language, I have a culture, cuisine, and I don't trust as it is, and then I really can't trust because now I'm making money. I'm 19 years old in Eastern Europe. It's 20 below in the winter. I'm making over 20,000 cash before bonuses. Most money I've ever made at that time. I'm trying to figure out what am I going to do? You know, who can I connect with? 3/4 of my team don't even speak English like that. So how do you evolve? How do you live in that? How do you survive there? That's where the mental toughness comes in. And you have to find things to bring peace in your life. I found myself reading a lot. I found myself watching tons of movies and stuff like that. And then I started venturing out, going out with my teammates to different restaurants and stuff. And, you know, doing the nightlife thing for camaraderie and bonding with my teammates. And they welcomed me with open arms about a month and a half in, and I fell in love with it. So that's part of the growth. You have to be stretched to grow. Lou, you got one?
Yes. Everybody on the stage has probably suffered a lot of losses in their lives. Shea, can you touch upon some of the major losses you've had in your life and how your mom has played such an instrumental role in your life, helping you move along?
Great question. Well, I buried my best friend at 15. He was murdered. You know, obviously he didn't really deserve it. He was in the wrong place at the wrong time. And I was emerging as one of the best players in the country at the same time. So to put him to rest and then after walking my life was difficult. And I gave up my childhood early. You know, at that time in LA it was treacherous. You know, it was a lot of deaths, and it was just a different way of living. You know, it made me focused and determined at the same time. Finishing up this documentary the last 5 years, my father passed. That really rocked me. My times now are different. I hate that he's not here to see his baby boy and what he's doing, you know, and the heart that he has for kids, and, you know, just the man of God that I am, you know, the sacrifices that I've made, you know, for other people to emerge from my shortcomings where I fell short. And my mother's like, she's a soldier, man. I mean, that's my rock, you know, it's just me and her now. So my job is to open doors and help so many people, so ultimately God will give me the desires of my heart, and I can take care of her latter years, the time that she has left. And, you know, continue to inspire at the same time. I think when we're stretched and we're stripped of certain things, it's a test. You get an opportunity to become worse or better. I chose to be better, but it's a price that you pay to do that. And it starts with that self-empowerment. I wake up to Tony Robbins and Zig Ziglar and Bob Proctor and Les Brown, you know, numerous people, Bishop T.D. Jakes, I could go on and on. I mean, you guys have to set the tone for your day in the morning when it's quiet and still, no matter what goes on, no matter what people try to put on you. It's not what other people say about you, it's what you say about yourself. Always remember that. Great question. Yeah, they did. I went to college and I was a speech communications major, so I'm operating in that space as we speak, talking to you. So it's just kind of interesting how things work out. I think Marcus alluded to it best. You know, I think God put me here for this exact purpose. You know, I'm not a failure. You know, so I don't want you feeling bad or feeling sorry for me. I'm here for it. Other people may not be that strong. What I want you to recognize is if it could happen to me, it could happen to you and the rest of you as well. And if it was you, what would you do? How would you respond?
So I know you had Lenny Cook in your interview. Can you tell us a little bit about Lenny and your relationship with him? 'Cause I know he was a pretty big basketball player during that time as well.
Absolutely. Lenny's a New York City legend out of the Brooklyn area. I was able to connect with him at a we had a panel discussion at Microsoft flagship store on Fifth Avenue in New York City, probably about 3 years back when we were completing this. And I wanted to bring him in because I felt like he did a lot of things that may have been self-inflicted in his life and his career, but I felt like I wanted to refresh him. God showed me that I need to touch him and bring him in, show people comparison and contrast, and give him a voice. You know, he finished his film with Showtime, they put it out. He didn't really parlay it, so we had talks about that, and I wanted to kind of help him shed light on some things and maybe energize him to do more to get back to help kids and don't look at his story like I'm just a victim. And, you know, Lenny's got a good side to him too, but a lot of times people are misconstrued and misunderstood.
As I sit here and think about the story, very touching. I just get so frustrated that you didn't make it. Like, all the pros, like, you should have been there. I don't know whether you got blackballed or what happened, but you definitely should have been in the league. What you're doing now is more important than you even going to the league. This is bigger than any contract you can ever get. Give it back to these kids and enriching their lives. And let them hear your story. That's bigger than anything else in this world. I just appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate that, absolutely.
Can I just say how crazy, like what you were saying, I was feeling the same way. I've covered the NBA since 2004, Ronnie's longer than me. I've seen so many trash players in the league. I'm like, you know, like how is nobody like, yo, I could do something with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so many dudes get the workout and like, for real, like, are you serious? Nobody said, hold on, 6'5" with hops to the jumper? Yeah, bring that my way. Like, nobody really said that. That's crazy to me. Like, I've seen some, like, dude, what are you doing here? Like, you know,
good agents.
You know, that's the most amazing thing in the whole documentary. Like literally they were looking like, nah, I'll pass. there's like a 5'9" dude running point at some camp somewhere. Like, what? What was wrong? Maybe now they scour the earth because of they weren't paying attention then. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just weird now that they turn over every rock and they poke and prod you if you could play anywhere. Like they get dudes from Latvia. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, they find you no matter where you are. Dudes from jungles. And you know what I'm saying? There's a dude that's in LA, and they're like, yeah, nah, we cool.
Every NBA team has a gang of international scouts. It used to be like one team might have a scout, then another team has a scout, and then a team might have 2 scouts. Now every team has multiple scouts. So they do really scour the earth looking for talent. They really do.
Hey, Chef, can I ask you a question? Because I went through the same injury as you showed, reconstructive surgery, and I know how long it took me to get back, to get the range of motion. And I'm just curious about the injury with you and the effect it had on your game. Did you ever get that? How long did it get you?
I never got the full range of motion back. I lost 25 and 30%, and the shooting arm was changed the game, and I still averaged 30 a game after that. So it's the mind, you know. Fellas, you gotta remember, when you're under this test, when you're being challenged in ways in your life, the battle's in your mind, it's not in your body. When you get tired, you're sore, always remember that. This controls everything. Don't let nobody tell you what you can't do.
So there's a lot in California now asked to make it so NCAA athletes can start to profit like from their own image and merchandise and things like that. I'm just wondering like what your thoughts on that, particularly like, with all the stuff going on with the NCAA.
I think it's good. I mean, they're being used anyway, so, you know, why not compensate somebody for their likeness when they're selling their uniforms anyway, their jerseys. The coaches are living in multi-million-dollar mansions. I mean, and these guys are struggling in bunk bed dorms, and they can't even, the coach can't even buy them a meal. You know, it's ridiculous. The rules have to change. It's got to be more of a balance. I don't care if they put it in some kind of fund where they have a certain allotment of money set aside when they graduate, if they want to make a prerequisite, and give them some type of per diem on a monthly basis that they can eat off of and go to the movie with a girl that they're interested in, or whatever the case may be. So they can feel some kind of normalcy and not just feel like you're being worked. Because that's basically what it is. When you go to college, it's not what you think it is, fellas. It's gonna feel like a job. So get ready now. And I think Mark alluded to it best. You guys gotta work twice as hard. And if you think you're doing it right now, you need to do 2 or 3 times the work.
Question for everybody on the panel. From what you saw tonight, you have one word or one sentence summary. What do you say, Mark? Going down the line.
Watching the whole thing, I'd say inspirational and enlightening. You know, it's the kind of thing I think that everyone, whether you're aspiring to be a professional athlete or you're a parent who has someone, a child who's aspiring to be a professional athlete, there's something in this documentary for you to watch.
I'd say this documentary is like a testimony of how you are not defined by your circumstance, you're not defined by your talent, but by the integrity and character that you have to make most of whatever you have. So that's what I get out of this. Like, things are gonna happen, man. Y'all know this. It happens to all of us. That's not the real worth of who you are. The worth is how you respond to it and what you make out of what you have and who you are. Like, that's what I get out of this documentary.
I think this documentary was inspirational, and it showed me that there's more life than basketball and all that get back.
Me, the ball stops bouncing for everyone, and then when you're passionate about a sport like basketball, or just passionate about anything, you just really got to go all in, and I believe he went all in, and he still is going all in. So the passion and the love that he has is still illuminating out of him. So everybody got hoop dreams or whatever dreams that you have. But I look at one of my best friends, Marcus, he made it pro writing. We all make it pro in some type of way. We don't know what our destiny is when we're kids, but just having that love for people and the community and everything and giving back man, it just encourages me and hopefully you guys to want to do more. And you're not a failure if you don't make it to the league. Like you're not. You just keep pushing and keep going forward and making it in life and inspiring each other and loving each other really. So, I mean, when I watch that, I just see so much love, especially coming from this man right here. So, thank you.
Appreciate the opportunity. You know, I just want to leave you guys with, you know, being the best version of yourself. And secondly, I did this film to make sure it doesn't happen to none of you guys. That's what this is about. This ain't about fame. I had enough of that. You know, the money will come. After the impact, the money usually comes in. It's to help you. As long as I'm getting through to you guys, and it's gonna make you better people, I did my job, as far as I'm concerned. You know, you can't ask for nothing more. As long as I can see the turn, that you guys are positive and moving forward in your life, you're gonna be self-sufficient, you're gonna have family someday, you can take care of your kids, your wife, okay? Legally, doing stuff the right way, with integrity, accountability, okay? That's what it's about. That's why I do this. You know, and I want to thank everybody for coming out. And I'd like to get all the players up here and take a group photo before we get out here. Anybody got any other questions?
Go from the stage.
One in the back, you got one?
Finish with me.
Yeah.